The People's Jack, P23/140, Part 1, Take 1.
I beg you, ladies, do not turn away. This face of mine is, I confess it, no pretty thing. But it has looked on beauty in its time. Yes, and on kings and cheering crowds, and on the bars of a prison cell. It has emerged, at last, to its surprise, as the face of authority, for you must know that I am now Lord Mayor of London, charged with preserving law and order in that city. I, who defied the law and turned the natural order of things upside down only a few short years ago. I was a politician then, having, like many others, bought me seat with bribes. I was also editor of a weekly pamphlet, The North Briton, dedicated to the useful task of ridding England of the Scotch. It was a carefree life. The politicians of the time were in the habit of meeting not only at the House of Commons, but also more informally at a gathering called the Hellfire Club. The gentleman behind me is Lord Sandwich, His Majesty's Principal Secretary of State for Home Affairs.
Mr. Churchill! Save me, save me!
From what, madam?
He came down the chimney, grinning, black, with great horns and a long tail, eyes blazing like hot coals. You never saw anything like it. Christ almighty, I'll never blaspheme again.
Well, Lord Sandwich, did you see this thing as well?
How curious that they should all fly into such a tizzy. They've been trying for years to conjure up old Nick. When he does finally appear, they befoul their breeches.
I think, Mr. Wilkes, that you had something to do with that apparition.
Aye, my lord.
Looked very like a baboon to me.
Then what is the connection with myself? I do not know any baboons. Politicians, yes. Even a few minor members of His Majesty's government like yourself, but baboons, no.
If you can't conduct yourself like a gentleman, Wilkes, I'll have you hounded out of the club.
Ha! Blackballed by the Hellfire Club. Oh, what a dreadful thing. What are you doing out of bed, madam?
Well, you never said good night to me, Papa.
Oh, my dearest. Didn't I?
Oh, where have you been all evening?
I've been to a political meeting, of course.
Oh, how tedious.
I do hope you're not going to turn into one of those tiresome young females who think of nothing but gossip and fashion in the Playhouse. If you do, you're going to make a most boring companion for your father in his old age.
Oh, I don't think there's much chance of that. I've never been to the Playhouse.
You're far too young.
And I don't know anything about fashion. And there's no one to gossip with except Bridie. And she's an ignorant bog Irish slut.
Polly Wilkes.
Well, that's what you called her. Well, she is, isn't she?
Yes, she is. It's just what she is. She's a bog Irish slut.
When are you going to send me to a convent?
I doubt whether you'd learn much about politics there.
Oh, politics. Do you never think of anything else?
Well, I think of you.
Occasionally. Between general elections.
Two loves have I, without them I would die, each as tender as the other, each engendering a special flame. I love them both, I love them both the same. Polly, Polly, politics and Polly, each of them in turn has swept me off my feet. Polly, Polly, politics and Polly, these are all I need to make my life complete. Who needs a woman except from time to time? And who would wish to have a nagging wife? Great heavens, no, why jigger me? I'd rather stick to bigamy with politics and Polly and a peaceful life. Polly, Polly, wouldn't it be folly saying that I loved you only when I love her too? Polly, Polly, don't be melancholy. There's a place for politics as well as you. If I'm faithful to her, she will give me delight and bestow every golden reward. But if she lets me down, as she very well might, I've still got my Polly, thank the Lord. Polly, Polly, politics and Polly, loving them together is my sole desire. Polly, Polly, politics and Polly, the complementary passions of John Wilkes, Esquire.
Look sharp with those galleys, young Tom.
Sorry, Mr. Moore.
You haven't got all day.
I was just reading the editorial.
They're here to print them, not to read them.
But I'm very interested in what Mr. Wilkes has to say. I think he's a great man and a very fine example to a young fellow such as I.
God help us. Look, you leave politics to the gentry or you get yourself in trouble.
And don't go getting any ideas about modelling yourself on Mr. Wilkes. We could tell you a thing or two. He was in the works again last night, entertaining some of his young ladies.
A very observant fellow, as you see. The North Britain helped, I believe, to bring about the resignation of the Scotch Prime Minister, Lord Bute. A man detested by everyone, except the King's mother, who doted upon the brute. However, as is the way in politics, he was succeeded by someone even worse, a Mr. George Grenville, whom I, of course, proceeded to attack in my next edition of the North Britain, number 45. The particular object of my derision was the King's speech at the opening of Parliament, written for him, as is the custom, by the Prime Minister.
The impertinence of it! Who is the editor of this scandalous publication?
A man by the name of Wilkes, Prime Minister. You know him, do you not, Lord Sandwich?
What? Yeah, well, I may have met him once or twice, yes. A very lewd creature, whom decent society would not wish to encourage.
Oh, I heard that you once both belonged to the same club.
Really? I hardly think that's likely, Lord Halifax. I'm not in the habit of consorting with revolutionaries.
Oh, if he's plotting revolution, the King should know.
The King knows already.
Your Majesty, it almost amounts to treason.
Does it? The personal character of our present sovereign makes us happy that so great a power is lodged in such hands.
That seems a very reasonable opening to me.
The North Britain disclaims any intention of disloyalty to the King, whose speech has always been considered by the legislature and by the public at large as the speech of the Prime Minister.
A very fair assessment, I would think. He seems to think rather well of us.
Yeah, and goes on to sneer at every measure we propose. If I may say so, Your Majesty, all this flattery is the merest sarcasm. All his readers know that for weeks he's been making the most monstrous accusations about the morals of Your Majesty's family.
Whose morals, Grenville? Mine?
Oh, no, Your Majesty, no, your mother's.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Sandwich.
What does he say about my mother?
Oh, yeah, well, perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned it, Your Majesty. Do forgive me.
Sandwich!
Yes, well, he said, not in so many words, of course, but he implied that she was being swived by the Prime Minister.
Hey, oh, no, not me, Your Majesty, but my predecessor.
An example must be made of this, Wilkes.
Well, yes, Your Majesty, but how are we to bring him to justice? The question is, when his name nowhere appears on the North Britain, it may be difficult to prove he actually wrote the article.
Perhaps we could obtain a general warrant, then, for whoever did write it.
A good suggestion. Arrest every journalist and printer in London if you have to, but make sure he's among them.
I should warn Your Majesty that there is some doubt whether a general warrant is in fact legal. We shall have trouble with some of the judges.
And who appoints the judges?
Oh, you do, Your Majesty.
And the Prime Minister?
Yeah, you do, Your Majesty.
And the Privy Council?
And you do, Your Majesty.
Well, then, go and find this devil, Wilkes, and lock him up.
Your Majesty.
Ah, Polly, come in, my dear, come in. These gentlemen are only trying to arrest me.
Did you do as I asked you?
Yes, but... Good. I had to do it myself, Papa.
We were curry and more.
They've been taken away.
Have you had the audacity to arrest my printers? On a warrant that names neither them nor me? Oh, I demand an explanation. Who's responsible for this? Lord Halifax? We shall go and see him at once. Do you have a chair?
But it's only 3 doors away, sir.
I insist upon a chair. The only result of my interview with Lord Halifax was that he obtained a warrant with my own name upon it, and I was therefore taken to appear before Lord Justice Pratt. But what is your opinion, my lord? Does a general warrant have the force of law, or does it not?
But I think that those men arrested under a general warrant should be freed.
An excellent decision, excellent. Now let us proceed. The issue to be decided, my lord, is one that affects the future of every individual subject. It involves the liberty of all peers and gentlemen, and, what touches me more sensibly, that of all the middling and inferior sort of people who stand most in need of protection.
John Wilkes, as a member of the House of Commons, you are entitled to certain privileges, and they include immunity from arrest, except on certain cases, to wit, treason, felony, and breach of the peace. Since you have been arrested on none of these charges, I find your arrest was illegal, and you may therefore be discharged.
I seem to have become a patriot by accident. Since you've all been so very kind and supported me through and through, do let me know if you have anything in mind that I can do for you.
Sir, you have made such a very auspicious start that we can tell you have the interest of each and every one of us at heart.
Of each and every one of us, of each and every one of us, of each and every one of us at heart.
The fishermen of England would be greatly in your debt for a lower tax on fishing smacks and certain types of net.
The Grocers' Federation would like your endorsement, please, for an outright ban on parmesan and all unwholesome foreign cheese. The publicans of London will give you their support if you kindly see that the licensee gets a higher price for a smaller quart.
Do all these things and we'll vote for you. Do all these things and we'll vote for you.
I'll see what I can do. Yes, a very popular fellow, as you see. But whenever a man makes friends, it seems he must make enemies as well. The king and his ministers were none too pleased that their quarry had got away.
Well, Mr. Wilkes, you're a very strange champion of liberty. A pocket politician from a pocket borough.
I'm even worse than that, Lord Sandwich. I am as inconstant in my policies as in my loves, a very whoremonger of a politician who's not ashamed to benefit by corruption at one moment and denounce it the next. A bad husband, a bad father, a libertine, a drunkard, call me what you will, but add this one thing, that I would rather die than renounce my liberty to tell the people of England that they are governed by a pack of fools, of whom the chief, Lord Sandwich, is yourself.
Wilkes, you will either die of the pox or on the gallows?
That, sir, depends on whether I embrace your mistress or your principles. It was not long before his lordship had his revenge. A creature of his, the unfrocked priest John Kidgel, was sent to the printing shop with instructions to corrupt my honest workers.
This is a private press. We don't take on anything from outside.
Oh, what a pity. I was prepared to pay somewhat above the usual rates.
And we can't do it, sir. We've got all we can handle.
Oh, is that not a copy of the North Briton? What a very fine man Mr. Wilkes is. Such an unusual combination. A man of the very highest principles, and yet not a hypocrite. He is, I hear, quite ready to admit his enjoyment of the more fleshly pleasures, and this is a very fine thing in a politician, to understand the temptations of us weaker brethren.
Oh, yes, he's a very fine man, Mr. Wilkes. And now, let us get on with our dinner.
A poet, too, I believe.
Oh? How'd you hear that, then?
Some of my more disreputable acquaintances speak very highly of his talent for improper verse. You may find it a very strange thing in a clergyman, but I would dearly love to read some of his compositions. And the pleasure, of course, like all others, would have to be paid for.
How much?
I was thinking of 20 guineas.
Good Christ.
What?
Oh, I beg your pardon, Reverend. I meant no disrespect on your cloth. I was somewhat astonished at the sum.
Oh, you think they're worth more, then?
25. At the very least.
May I ask exactly what it is you have to show me?
Well, I happen to have a copy of some of the verses that Mr. Wilkes had printed for the amusement of his friends. Their title is...
An essay on woman, yes. 25 guineas. Give me the verses.
The result of this evil maneuver was that my enemies were able to attack me simultaneously in both Houses of Parliament.
I have here a set of verses composed for the amusement of those debauchees who call themselves members of the Hellfire Club.
Has he forgotten he was one himself?
Of which the chief and fountainhead was none other than this John Wilkes. I need hardly tell your lordships that only the highest sense of duty would persuade me to read aloud these scandalous compositions.
I'm sure he knows them by heart.
Yeah, recites them to his mistresses.
However, I will steel myself to do so, not only for your lordship's edification, but in order that the humble working man can see what kind of a person it is he's chosen to be a champion of liberty. The verses are headed, in imitation of Mr. Alexander Pope, an essay on woman. Awake, my Fanny. Leave all meaner things. This morn shall prove what rapture swiving.
Far be it from me to assault your ears with such a dreadful word.
It's intolerable!
Disgraceful! Abominable!
The House of Lords is scandalized as it has never been. This noble pile is vandalized by verses so obscene. It's longer than anyone here recalls, since anyone dared to mention balls within these sacred walls. Within these sacred walls. It's no wonder that the son of the elder Pitt has fallen in a fit. This noble institution is shaken to the core, but must, with resolution, prepare itself for more. And as soon as we've heard the rest of it, the writer shall be shot. For it's not what they used to in the House of Lords. The House has never been like this. The bishop's bench is full. To see a shocking scene like this, the woolsack's lost its wool. It really upsets the apple cart and could kill a peer with a groggy heart. When someone mentions fart in the House of Lords, And to make it even worse, the whole thing is couched in verse. The nation's moral fibre is dragging through the mud. We seem to see the timer a-foaming with much blood. And every beer has a frightful fear that the country's gone to pot. For it's not what we used to in the past. Not what we're used to in the house. The house of Lords.
Although declared an outlaw by both Houses of Parliament, I decided to return to England and stand for Parliament again. This time for the City of London.
You may take your blue cockades and pin it where you choose. You may not count on our support, we've far too much to lose. We have a vested interest in keeping the status quo. We don't want the world turned upside down for fear of what's down below. Pin it where you choose. We don't want the world turned upside down, we've far too much to lose. You may take your blue cockades, we do not care for change. We find our rich commercial life too well to disarrange. If law and order lose the day, we won't go shut up shop. Because if the world's turned upside down, we may not be still on top. You may take your blue cockades and chuck it in the ditch. We like the world the way it is because it's made us rich. So take your speeches to the fore and promise them God knows what. They may want the world turned upside down, but we, Mr. Wilkes, do not. So chuck it in the ditch. We like the world the way it is because it has made us rich.
You should go to your real friends, Mr. Wilkes.
My real friends, Tom? Who the hell are they?
Those who have nothing. They're the only ones who aren't afraid.
People like us, Mr. Wilkes. We voted you in before. We'll do it again.
Yeah, we cast our votes in Middlesex. Why not try there?
We're the devil's Middlesex.
We'll show you, Mr. Wilkes.
Not until you fight for Wilkes and liberty.
Let me pass, I say. I'm the Lord Mayor of London.
Send him with a message to the city. Hold him up, Thomas.
Number 45.
Mr. Wilkes has been elected by 400 votes.
Hey! The rest of us are outlaw. Now then, just where do you think you're going?
To the King's Bench prison. Get out me.
Well, soon see about that.
Please let the fellows do their duty. Here you are, sir. Better make a run for it.
Yeah, you're our member now. We've got to look after you.
Stop! Don't you understand? I want to go to prison. Well, I intend to appeal against the sentence of outlawry. That I can't do if I'm in hiding, can I? I do appreciate it, gentlemen, but please be so kind as to let me continue on my journey.
All right. If you want to go to the King's Bench, we'll take you there ourselves.
Yeah.
Come on. You getting, go on.
And those shots Your Majesty heard were fired by them upon the ringleaders of this demonstration.
Of the 150 killed, Mr. William Allen, shot to death in his father's house by Captain Murray, Mary Jeffs of St. Saviour's, who was selling oranges by the Haymarket, died instantly. Mr. Boddington, baker of Coventry, shot through the thigh bone, died in St. Thomas's Hospital. Margaret Walters, pregnant, died the 12th of May.
Mr. Prime Minister,
Your Majesty.
kindly convey to the House of Commons our most grateful thanks.
Your Majesty.
John Wilkes, the court has listened with some sympathy to your appeal against the sentence of outlawry passed upon you, and has decided that the sentence should be quashed.
Hooray!
However, on the other two charges that you face, namely, a publication of a libel on His Majesty the King and of the essay on woman, you will be fined £2,000 and be sent to jail for 22 months.
So, to prison I went, and enlivened the tedious months with standing for Parliament 3 times. Thrice I was elected, thrice disqualified. Ah, well, if the voters were forbidden to send me to Parliament, there were other steps that they could take. No sooner was I released from prison than they elected me a city magistrate. And so I came home.
Thank you. You're most kind.
Polly! My dearest love. Oh, wonderful to see you.
Oh, Papa, there is a lady waiting to see you in the parlour. She's called 3 times to see you this morning.
I see. What's her name?
She said you would remember her as Little Satin Bottom.
How disgraceful. She shall have her ears well boxed.
Why, Papa?
For saying such a thing to an innocent child.
But I've had stranger things said to me whilst you've been away, and not by ladies either.
Upon my soul.
Lord Talbot has passed me once or twice in the street and smiled in quite a serious manner.
I'm not going to give you to a drunken Tory, be he never so aristocratical, so there.
Then choose me a wig, but do it fast. I do not greatly relish the idea of being an old maid.
Old maid? Well, she's had plenty of opportunities. Lord Talbot, indeed. A fool with a handsome face. Is that what she wants? She must be very different from the women I know. Intellectual accomplishment, that's what they admire. Give me half an hour to talk away me face. Any woman will be mine for as long as I want her. But this, of course, is not quite the same situation.
Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, who shall Polly marry? Rich man, poor man, judge or jailer, Tom or Dick or Harry? Who will ring the wedding bell? Which will she prefer? Alas, her father knows quite well that none of them is good enough for her. It would make me very glad if she settled on the lad who was somewhat like her daddy used to be. Perfect manners, perfect taste, but the question must be faced, would I let my only daughter marry me? No, no, I would never let my daughter marry me. It's impossible to think of a husband soaked in drink, with his hand upon the serving wench's knee. He should be sweet and pure. On reflection, I'm quite sure that I'd never let my daughter marry me. No, no, I would never let my daughter marry me. With the standards that I've set, it's a matter for regret that she'll only go and get some chimpanzee who's as ugly as a pear, but without his savoir-faire. No, I wouldn't want my heir to marry me. Good God! She must never marry anyone like me. Never, 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 never marry anyone like me.
Mr. Wilkes, have you entirely forgotten my existence?
Why, little satin bottom. How could I?
Yeah, well, I've been waiting out there for a full 2 hours.
And I, my dear
I've just
madam,
about had-
have been waiting for 22 months.
Oh, God, you haven't you? Oh!
Who else would have me?
I was perhaps too busy with my own affairs to notice that Polly had struck up a singular friendship with one of my printers, young Tom.
On a summer afternoon, the bustle of the town seems very far away. The summer sun will sink behind the hills too soon, and we'll never say the words that we long to say. It won't always be July. Yellow rose, yellow rose. One day you will fade and die, singing bird on the bough. You should sing all your love songs now. Autumn comes, sure as fate. Tomorrow may be too late. Summer sun, summer sun. You know that my love is true. By the time that this golden day is done, will he tell me he loves me too? Butterfly, butterfly, a lifetime is slipping by. Yellow rose, yellow rose. I wonder if my sweetheart knows.
Oh, Tom, thank you. It's beautiful.
It's meant to be a heart.
For me?
I hope you don't mind. It's got some rather common flowers mixed up with the good ones.
But that makes it all the more beautiful. Oh, Tom. Papa, Tom and I have some wonderful news to tell you. Will you tell him, Tom, or shall I?
I have heard it already, Polly, my dearest, and am delighted that you should be the first to congratulate me.
To congratulate you, Papa.
Yes, on becoming the next Lord Mayor of London. Oh, is that not a very fine thing? And you know, you're going to make a most gracious hostess at the Mansion House.
Many congratulations, Mr. Wilkes.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Your good wishes are the highest importance to me. Now, thank you for them. You know this. You've been in my employment so long, and you've done your work so well, that I've come to look upon you almost as a son.
Papa, Tom has something to say to you. Will you excuse me if I withdraw?
Why? Is it so very embarrassing? You've got yourself into some scrape, have you, eh? Ah, well, there's no harm in that. You know what my advice is? Don't marry the girl unless you have to. This is my advice.
Well, I assure you, sir, there's no question of anything like that.
No? What do you want me advice for, then?
I want to marry Polly.
Marry Polly? You must be feverish.
Well, I know my station in life is different from hers, and I haven't much to offer in the way of possessions. But the important thing is I love her. And I promise you I'll do anything I can to make her happy.
And what is to become of me?
You, Mr. Wilkes?
Well, you may not know it, but Polly's mother and myself have been estranged these many years. I therefore rely entirely upon my daughter for female companionship. Yeah, well, not entirely, but you know what I mean. She has all my domestic arrangements in her charge. If it weren't for Polly, I'd never have any clean linen to me name. And what sort of a Lord Mayor would I make then, eh?
How long will you hold the office, sir?
Only a year, Tom.
Then I can ask you again.
Well, yeah, of course.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, by all means. So, there you have my history. The rake who, by accident, found himself a reformer. The prisoner who became a magistrate. A flouter of authority who was elected by the people to have authority over them. That devil Wilkes is tamed and would be civil nowadays, even to a Scotsman.
The only threat to this peaceful existence is the growing fear and resentment of the papists, stirred up by the fanatical outbursts of Lord George Gordon.
My friends and fellow Protestants, I ask you, can we stand by and see our England submerged in a flood of popery?
No.
This government, supposed to be elected by yourselves, has it taken leave of its senses? I ask you, has it gone mad? I have drawn attention time and time again to this alien community within our midst. Thousands of my fellow countrymen have written to me or spoken to me of their fear and foreboding. The old, who rejoice that they shall not live to see what is to come. Yes. The young, who are determined that their children shall not grow up in the shadow of it.
Beg pardon, sir, but what exactly is the government proposing? I beg you not to spare our feelings. Tell us the worst.
The government is proposing that Roman Catholics shall be allowed to celebrate the Mass. Furthermore, that they shall no longer be restricted to an area within 5 miles of their place of residence. Worst of all, my friends, that they shall once again be allowed to take up residence within the cities of London and Westminster.
Where they'll breed like rabbits, they always do.
Yes, all the houses, and they live like pigs.
Yes. No popery. No. People of England will not endure it.
Protestants, follow me.
We shall march to Parliament. And if we get no satisfaction there...
Blood. 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 Blood.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Your Majesty.
What the devil's going on?
Your loyal troops have fired upon the rioters who've retreated to the city, where they are burning everything they can lay hands upon.
Setting fire to the city? What the devil's the Lord Mayor of London doing?
I'm not sure where Mr. Wilkes stands in this, Your Majesty. But I noticed that most of the rioters were wearing blue cockades, and some of them were repeating their old revolutionary cries of Wilkes and liberty.
I was right about that Wilkes. He is a devil. Oh!
You're safe, sir. They've set fire to half of London. I saved these from the printing works. They broke in and tried to take them as keepsakes.
Keepsakes? My writings?
They say there's 1,000 dead already. The great prison's gone up in flames, and the brewery in Cheapside's up in smoke as well.
Never mind the brewery. Where's Polly?
Well, they won't harm her, sir, not your daughter.
Well, go and... What do you mean, not my daughter? Did they you suppose I'm with them in this massacre?
They're wearing your colours, sir, and your head printer's one of the ringleaders, it seems.
More?
Yes, I just saw him with a whole gang of them setting fire to Lord Mansfield's house.
Lord Mansfield? The judge who condemned me? I don't understand. He's not a Catholic.
No, sir, a Scotsman. That's why they're burning his house and shouting Wilkes and liberty.
Is this what they thought I meant? If you want something to burn, burn these!
Hey, isn't that Johnny Wilkes over there? Jack! Yeah, Mr. Wilkes, don't you recognise us, sir? We're a couple of your old pupils. The ones what helped you through all your troubles.
Yeah, you'll come to know on with us, Mr. Wilkes.
Right.
We're all Wilkites to a man.
Yeah.
I now perceive I never was. Here, you! Do your duty. Arrest these men.
Hey? What?
Then make haste to the Mansion House. Tell them to enlist the help of every citizen who is loyal to his country. Send for more troops. The ringleaders, even those who are my friends, shall be arrested.
Get up, put me down! Swat, you bastard! Wilkes and liberty!
My old pupils. What kind of a master have I been? Polly! Oh, thank God you're all right. Don't worry, dear. The fighting and the burning are over. What a curious day it's been. I've spent my whole life considering myself to be an incendiary. Now find me true vocation as a fire pump. What's the matter, dear? Don't you laugh at me jokes anymore?
I was thinking of someone else, Papa.
Yes, of course, you're Tom. Do you know, I've come to share your opinion of that young fella. The next time he asks you to marry him...
You will not do so again, Father.
What?
As we came round the corner of the street, there were 3 soldiers with muskets. I didn't see them until Tom fell.
Polly, my darling.
So, now I have no one to look after but you. There's so much to do.
I think I have done enough. If I have one regret, it is that I have asked too much of others.
Truth and justice shall prevail. See London burning. Truth and justice shall prevail. Watch London burn. Truth and justice shall prevail. But who will live to tell the tale? Must it always end like this? Must it always end like this? Peace and plenty lie ahead. Hear the women weeping. Peace and plenty lie ahead. Hear the women weep. Peace and plenty lie ahead. Count your blessings, count your dead. Must it always end like this? Must it always end like this? The world looks better upside down. Hear the cries of children. The world looks better upside down. Hear the children cry. The world looks better upside down. The blood-stained mob shall wear the crown. Must it always end like this? Must it always end like this? I have done the best I can. Cry Wilkes and liberty. I have done the best I can. Hooray, the People's Jack. I have done the best I can, but who will change the heart of man? Must it always end like this? Must it always?
Polly,
Yes, Papa?
forgive me.